Welcome to another edition of Campus Reports. I'm Robyn Chavez.
And I'm Montaño. Today we're going to take a look at how a local neuroimaging research institution may bring hope to patients who suffer from mental illness.
We'll also take a look at how the APD bomb squad was finally given the go to destroy pounds of explosives after a 10-year wait. These stories and more here on Campus Report.
Local coverage. Student perspectives. At the University of New Mexico, from the KNME studios, this is Campus Report.
The Albuquerque-based Neuroimaging Research Institution, or the Mind Research Network, recently announced a critical advancement that may soon bring hope to patients who suffer from mental illnesses. Nikka Peralta has the story.
The Mind Research Network was started with funding secured by former Senator Pete Domenici nearly a decade ago to use brain imaging technology to study mental illnesses. Today, one researcher's breakthrough may help improve the lives of those who suffer from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Principal investigator Vince Calhoun, Director of Image Analysis at the Mind Research Network, is heading the project that can differentiate between patients suffering from these two disorders.
Diagnosing those two illnesses can be difficult initially in the clinic. Both of them are still diagnosed using symptoms, which has been the way you've diagnosed it for about 100 years. The question was whether we can use a quantitative measure of telling the difference between these two disorders, because there's currently no test.
Dr. Harry Linneman, Director of Counseling and Therapy Services at UNM, says the difficulty in diagnosis is because these two disorders share many of the same symptoms, such as depression and mania.
During the psychotic phase, in particular, it's difficult to tell one illness from the other because they both are in pretty poor reality contact. They're both pretty severe mental illnesses. We need to keep that in mind, and they're both what we consider psychotic illnesses, or at least during some phase of the illness or phases of the illness.
Due to the complications of these disorders, Calhoun and his team have turned to technology to explore the human brain.
So we use a technique called functional magnetic resonance imaging, which is a way to look at blood flow in the brain that is changing over time and giving you a measure of brain function.
Researchers want to make the diagnosis and treatment of these illnesses easier for both healthcare providers and patients.
The long-term goal is to really provide some basically like lab tests. You know, if we could provide some tests that can give clinicians and psychiatrists more evidence for telling the difference between these different disorders, then we can get them diagnosed correctly early on. We can get them on the correct medications, and that will impact their long-term outcome.
Linneman says medication is a crucial piece to a successful treatment.
Getting on the wrong medication can in fact make some of the symptoms worse, and so that's a problem, and that is certainly one real advantage to having more accurate diagnosis early on.
The researchers had outstanding results using functional magnetic resonance imaging.
We were able to differentiate the bipolar individuals from schizophrenia from healthy controls with over a 90% accuracy. So that was very encouraging, and it suggests to us that we should continue to pursue this.
Linneman says this breakthrough will be a benefit to diagnosing these illnesses, but it will never be easy.
It's never going to be as simple as, this is what you've got, here's a pill, you can go now, ever.
You know, brain imaging is it looks like it's going to be a useful tool. There's still a lot of work to be done.
Researchers and scientists here at the Mind Research Network will continue with advancement in treatments, prevention, and diagnosis of those with mental illnesses. This is Nikka Peralta.
I'm joined here by Nikka Peralta to talk more about these advancements. Hi, Nikka.
Hi.
So I guess the first thing I want to talk to you about is what is the biggest distinction between bipolarity and schizophrenia?
Well, bipolar disorder is primarily a mood disorder, so it's severe fluctuations from depression to mania, whereas schizophrenia is a disorder of thinking, and it's primarily how a person interprets reality, puts things together, so it mainly affects your visual and auditory function. Currently, these symptoms, these illnesses are diagnosed using clinical interviewing, symptoms, And this research is actually moving toward neuroimaging. So.
Well, I know that moving towards neuroimaging is a fairly recent advancement. I mean, have you guys had time to anticipate any of the kinds of drawbacks or any kind of side effects that might occur from this new technology?
Well, with all technology and all advancements in the medical field, there's always going to be drawbacks. But right now, researchers and clinicians are focusing mainly on getting the proper diagnosis so that way they can help patients actually get treatments to help refine their lives every day.
And great, Nikka. Thank you so much.